Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is Lupe Alcides. I am a Chicano from the west side of San Antonio, Texas. This is my own personal biased opinion, even though some of it is based on true story, facts type of stuff. That's what I think is so funny about social media, right? I tell you guys a story that happens to me, and I find humor in the way people act or behave, and I get judged, I get criticized, and I get called all kinds of names and stuff. It's like, how are you gonna get mad at me because other people act stupid? Like when I come to the car wash, right? You have people using a bottle that says glass cleaner on it, and they're washing the entire car with glass cleaner. The body, the interior, everything. And I'm just like, why? It says on the bottle, glass cleaner. Why would you use glass cleaner to clean your entire car? And I laugh and I get called all kinds of names. And I'm the asshole. So anyway, the whole point of this video was, I was speaking to a lady yesterday, an older lady, and she says, you know, what's funny is that I was never into politics. You would think that when I was younger, I would be into politics, but it's not until Trump came onto the scene that I got into politics. I want to know more. I want to know about politics. I want to know how it works. I want to know if the things that people are saying are true. And it's sad that it's gotten to that point, right? That you feel like you have to protect yourself, right? One, you feel like you have to protect yourself. And it's even more sad that the Trump supporters don't do the same kind of research and investigation, right? They just believe everything he says. The sky is purple. The sky's purple because Trump said so. Not because all these other sources and platforms, not because everybody said it's purple, but because one person said it was purple, you automatically believe that one person, right? And it's sad that they're sheep, right? They call us the sheep, but they're the ones that are being misled by one moron, and they believe every word that comes out of his mouth. First of all, that's not Christian. You're worshiping this man more than you do God. That's sick. It's sick. That's a cult. So she's telling me that she never cared about politics until now, and she wants to know, and she's doing all this research. And she was telling me, one, the thing that scares us right now is the mass deportation thing. Because even if you're a citizen, you can get deported. You don't believe me? It's been done before. The most recent one is something called Operation Wetback by President Eisenhower. Look it up. It's very popular on YouTube. If you Google it, you can find like actual documentation of this presidential act. Operation Wetback. They rounded up. You think Mi Familia is fiction? It's based on a lot of true events. Those people were rounded up and deported, whether you were a citizen or not. Born in East LA, I was joking about it, but people like Cheech's character and Born in East LA, they got deported because you don't have a piece of documentation saying that you're a citizen, right? And it's sad and scary at the same time that it's gonna lead to that. And one, I urge every legal citizen of this country that is brown to carry documentation, a state issued driver's license or ID, your birth certificate, passport if you have one, because it's gonna get to that point. She was saying that back in the day, back in the 70s, they were doing roadblocks here in San Antonio. They would do roadblocks and they were stopping people. If you didn't have documentation. Why, as a citizen of this country, do you need proof that you're a citizen? But you needed proof, or they would deport you. So, one, have your documentation on hand and ready to show, because it might get to that point. One. Two, what if it really happens? What if it really happens that these people are being massively deported, right? And one, it's going to affect the economy a lot, right? And she's also telling me about something that she heard for January 15th, that a lot of people plan on doing like a mass strike, right? They're going to do a mass strike, and it's going to affect a lot of economic endeavors. Doing a mass strike, and it's going to affect a lot of people. Not only are the truckers being told to not enter this country from Canada and Mexico, not to bring any goods into this country. Could you imagine the impact that's going to have? Imagine the impact that's going to have because of Trump. They're doing it to punish Trump, right? To show him that, one, they're really the ones in control. But if he wants to be a jerk and act stupid and do all kinds of ignorant stuff, that this is what happens, right? Two, it's going to have a lot of economic impact on not just this country, but the countries that are bringing those goods into this country. But can you imagine all the food, all the products that are brought into this country that United States citizens rely on, but because of your president, it's going to have an impact because of the things that he's doing. And I was telling her a story that I don't think a lot of people realize how much Mexico contributes to this country. And this is a big wake up for you Trump supporters. One time when I was doing an Uber to Laredo, I was on this side of the border, but there's literally hundreds of semis, 18-wheelers entering into this country. And I was just fathom. It just bottles the mind with a T. It bottles the mind how many trucks were coming into this country. And I was just like, wow. Because I didn't realize how much comes into this country and how much of an impact Mexico has on this country and this economy. A lot of you racists, and let's just be honest, it's racist. It really is. It's about being racist, that you don't want Mexico and their products in this country. But yet you rely a lot on this, on the stuff that comes into this country. You don't want to admit it, but it does. It does. How many of the products that we rely on really are made and grown in this country? How much? You don't want to admit it, but Mexico has a huge impact on what goes on and what comes into this country. So could you imagine on January 15th, if that really happens? Supposedly it's going to happen. It's not only in the talks, but it's in the works. But she was also saying that all the Mexicanos are being asked to not to show up to work for a week. They're being asked not to come to work for a week to show Trump how much of an impact our raza has on this country. So could you imagine all the service industry workers, hotels, restaurants, schools, all the janitorial system? Y'all make fun of all the Mexicanos and everything, but y'all rely on Mexicanos to take care of your kids, to cut your grass, to pick your vegetables, to clean your schools, hospitals, restaurants, to wash your dishes. I can almost guarantee you that all these racist white people that don't want Mexicanos in this country will not step up to take their place. I can almost guarantee you that they will not step up to take their place because they're too fucking lazy. They're too entitled and they're too proud. And it's a thing. It's called white entitlement, because the poorest white person believes in their mind that because of the fact that their skin is white, that they deserve more than rich people of color. It's all based on white privilege, white entitlement, and racism. And I'm not saying that all white people are like that, because I've met a lot of decent white people, especially doing Uber. I just think it's awesome when, one, they're decent, and it proves that not all white people are pieces of crap, misled sheep. But I love it even more when they say that they do not like Trump. Because not all white people are bad. Just like not all Latinos are pendejos for Trump. We were laughing about that too, because he doesn't want you in this country, and yet you're voting for him, thinking that you're going to be safe, thinking that your money is going to protect you. They don't want you. They don't want you. Let me put it to you this way. If they deport you because you have money, guess what happens to all your money, your houses, your cars, all your material possessions that you bought with American money? They get to repo that shit. You can't take your house with you. You can't take your car with you. You can't take your money with you. They're going to repo all of that shit and deport you. And where the fuck does that leave you? With a flag that says Trump 2020. So that's the main thing that's happening right now is January 15th. We're being told to keep an eye out for that day, because some shit's gonna go down. And as a person of color, I'm worried, because I joke that I look Mexican, but it's a real thing, bro. Because if citizens were being deported during Operation Wetback, what makes you think that they won't deport citizens again? And not just that, but how much of an impact is it going to have on this economy and this country? So let's keep an eye out, you guys, because shit's going to get real pretty soon.